Kicking off week 15 with some NFC West action on primetime Thursday Night Football. We got a lot of question marks in this one, but as always, we're going sides, we're going props, and a touchdown. We'll see what we can pull out of our hats to kick off week 15. Sit back, let's make it happen. Yo, Dave Loughy here on Twitter at Loughy_D. Hit me up. Also, if you're not in the Discord, best time to hit me up is on Twitter as well, because we should have news for tonight. You know, a lot of question marks, a lot of injuries, a lot of props that just haven't populated yet. So we'll get into all of that and make sure that we are on top of it as we draw closer to lock. And as always, before we get into the plays, guys, I hate to say it, we beat Bet365 in the submission. They're no longer offering the touchdown, the bonus bets for every touchdown scored. It is a sad day. But you know what? We took them for as much as we possibly could. And still, if you're not there yet and you're in any of these states on the screen, they still give you $150 in bonus bets for signing up, depositing 10 and betting 5 on anything, even if it's a live bet to start the game off. The moment that first drive ends, if you were to bet that, you have 150 in bonus bets that you didn't have before you watched this video or before the game started. So still the best place to sign up and get all of these offers is Bet365. Link is in the description and pinned comment if you're not there yet, because I'm sure they will be bringing back some other great stuff throughout the season, particularly in the playoffs. My guess is we get some banger promos in the playoffs, but it appears that we've won this round and we move on to the next. They do have a no sweat bet though. $10 back on any same game parlay tonight and $25 in bonus bets for betting $25 any Sunday game or any Sunday parlay. So still a lot going on there. Like I said, link down there if you're not on Bet365 yet and you're in those states. Deposit 10, sign up, get 150 in bonus bets the moment your first bet settles. All right, let's get into it. We'll start it off with the side as we always do, Rams and Niners. Niners are 2.5 or 3-point favorites. The 2.5 is heavily juiced right now. There aren't many out there. And then the 3, you're getting at like even money, everything shaded towards the 3 on the Rams, 49-point total. I got to know where you guys are at in the comments on this one. Let me know down below where you're at. By the way, while you're at it, help me feed that algo. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you appreciate this type of content. It's free to do so. But, you know, I look at this and I go, I think I know where most people are going to be at on this game. I'm very curious to know where you guys are. Love interacting down below, although I think I know where most people will be. And it doesn't mean you're wrong. I just think I know where most people are going to be here. But here's the thing. San Francisco has an 11% chance of making the playoffs if they win this game. They're not dead yet. If they lose, it's a wrap. It's over. Call it a day. Start booking plans for, Florida or wherever they decide to go as soon as week 18 is over. LA has a 50% chance of making the playoffs if they win. So huge game for both teams to stay alive. 23% chance if they lose. So they're still not dead, not like the Niners would be, but you get the point. The fact, though, that San Francisco is still a favorite here, that says a lot to me. Yeah, I said it in last week's picks for every game video that comes out every Tuesday night, that the Bears were going to be chalky against the Niners, and they were, but we're taking the San Francisco 49ers. And that worked out. Some things don't. But we hit on a lot of like anti-chalk spots, right? We lost that Brown spot, but we nailed the Panthers game. We nailed this game. It's just sometimes, well, I'll get to that in a second, and you'll see where I'm going. But I also said in this week's video on Tuesday that at -2.5, we just had to go with the Niners, whether we like it or not. The Niners were steamrolled by Buffalo in that snow game on primetime national television, only a week after getting stomped out by the Packers, right? Without Brock Purdy, but that doesn't matter because public perception is everything. And all of the public sentiment was going to be anti-Niners. And if you guys have watched any of my videos this season, hell, if you've watched any football this season or in previous seasons, you know that a lot of times, like stats and injuries, while they're meaningful, they only tell part of the story. And a lot of times the number you're getting tells more of the story than anything else. And there's just no doubt the public is going to love the Rams today. Right? And they are. I already looked. They are. But even with that being the case, we've seen the number from San Fran -2.5 to -3 in a lot of spots, albeit not juiced, not even standard. You're getting like even money on that. Like I said, with it shaded towards the 3 on the Rams. But I bet -2.5 on the Niners on Tuesday. It was -110 at the time. Here's what I think happens. I think the line sees some movement here if once we get the Nick Bosa and even Isaac Guerendo news. I don't obviously think that the Guerendo news is all that significant. Running backs usually don't move it much. Even a Christian McCaffrey doesn't. They're both questionable, though. If both are active, particularly Bosa, what I think you see happen is all of those threes move to like the -110, -115 range, right? Because they're already priced at like even money if you're getting the three. If they're out, I think this moves back to 2.5 everywhere, and maybe even 2 uniformly across the board. That's just my guess here. I can't say for sure, right? So that's going to make your decision a lot easier depending on which way you guys are leaning. Personally, I'm leaning Niners in this spot. You're talking about a home team back up against the wall. Those type of things mean something to me. A divisional home team inside of a field goal, more or less, with their backs up against the wall. Shanahan's 10-6 straight up against McVay, 10-6 against the spread. They both took over at head coach for their respective teams in 2017. So we have, a pretty decent sample here. Look, 10-6 isn't anything crazy. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's still a divisional home team with their backs up against the wall. I'm leaning Niners. But again, if you haven't bet this yet, depending on your lean based on injury news, like if you think that Bosa and Guerrero are going to be in, you should grab the Rams now at a field goal, right? Because I think that moves back inside of a field goal everywhere, and then you're grabbing them at 2.5. You don't want that. If you think these guys are going to be out, well, then that makes your situation a little bit different. Either way, wait and see on the news. Right now, I'm leaning Niners. I bet them at -2.5, but at -3, I'd still lean there, just not nearly as much, and I wouldn't like this nearly as much as I did earlier in the week when we were getting it inside of 3. All right, let's talk about a prop here. All right, so here's something that's really important. It's really hard to pinpoint good props this early in the day with Isaac Guerendo's status in flux, in question. We're not getting the actual, books aren't giving us anything. Once we have clarity there, and also once the books start releasing lines on more of these props, like some of the less marquee players, which they always do. And I think that's where you're often going to get most of the value on primetime games, where all of the marquee players have already been picked over. Then we'll talk about it. As always, and this isn't even like me to promote it, but I have to put them somewhere, sometimes on Twitter. A lot of times it's going to be in the Discord. Also, I'll put free picks in the Discord, which go to oddshopper.com, go to our free plays. You'll get a lot of my free plays up there too. If you want to join for any of the early picks, you want to join for any picks you're never going to see on YouTube. It's been a great season. We're up big on the year. Less than $5 for your first week, less than 15 for your first month. Just use promo NFL24 with that link in the description or in the pinned comment. That'll get you over on Tails in the Discord. Download the OddsShopper app, set up notifications. NFL24 is the promo, less than $5 for the first week or less than 15 for the month. But I'm saying I'm going to be putting stuff out there. Even if you just wanted to go to the free picks in the OddsShopper app and not sign up, you'll see some stuff from me there later in the day once we get more stuff. I want to go George Kittle here, over 22.5 yards, longest reception. Again, once we have more clarity, we'll have more stuff. But again, so here's the thing. I think the Deebo Samuel props are going to be super chalky today, really popular. You got this now deleted tweet talking about him saying he needs the ball more. And then subsequently, Kyle Shanahan saying, well, we got to try and get him the ball more. How much does that actually mean? I'd say ultimately not much, but more than anything else, that's going to be baked into some of these. I'm looking at it like these reception and yards props and stuff for Deebo are really high. Are you trying to bet over 4.5 receptions on Deebo, given what we've seen from him? Or like over rushing yards and receiving yards? That's tough. Give me Kittle here. He's cleared this number, 22.5, in 8 of 11 games he's played, and he's cleared it easily. He's one of the best players in football after the catch. The Rams have allowed the 4th most big plays, 20-plus yards in football this season with 47. They're also one of the worst tackling teams in football. And we've seen that all year. This sets up nice for Kittle to break 1 or 2 loose. I'm also not opposed to over 59.5 receiving yards at -110 across the board either. And I'll go Kittle. We'll talk touchdowns at plus 155 on FanDuel. We just have to go all in on him here. Maybe it's gross, fine, whatever. But the main reason is because we're just getting excellent odds at plus 155. Pinnacle's at plus 129. Caesars, DraftKings, plus 125. And Kittle's quietly on pace for 1,000+ yards and double-digit touchdowns, and he's already missed 2 games. He has 8 touchdowns, team-leading 21 red zone targets. 7 of those have come in the red zone. And guess what? Of those 7 touchdowns in the red zone, he only has 8 red zone targets. So he's automatic there when he gets thrown the ball. Ultimately, though, it comes down to price with touchdowns, and at plus 155, even without Trent Williams, I'll take the bait. Anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out as always. Hopefully to see you in Discord. Otherwise, check out the free plays. Hit me up on Twitter, and we'll see you back here for the next one. Peace.